sister sent me a St. Christopher statue for Christmas. Anyway, he is the patron of travelers. First I'll say a few things in history, and then we'll talk about his life. Throughout Europe, you find many, many statues of St. Christopher. I was surprised. He's one of the 14 holy helpers. We don't have time to go through all the 14 holy helpers, but that do have a special work to do. So traveling is important. We spend a lot of time traveling. But here's the story of St. Christopher. The Modernists said that he's no longer a saint. So John the 23rd just took him off, along with St. Philomena and many of the other saints. So they went into this black hole and then they just disappeared. That's impossible because the canonization of a saint is an infallible statement. In other words, the Pope makes a final definitive decree that this person is in heaven and they can be venerated. And they already go through 3 steps: venerable, blessed, and saint. And like my patron, St. Dominic Savio, took about 100 years for him to be canonized. He was born in 1857. He was canonized in 1954. And then St. Francis and St. Anthony, they were canonized within about a year. But most of the time it takes hundreds of years. St. Joan of Arc, she was just canonized in the 20th century. But St. Christopher was a giant. In other words, I was watching the NBA Finals just for a little while. This one basketball player is 7'3". So giants, it's possible, right? So he was a very brave soldier. And he said, "I will only serve the strongest man in the world." So he served the king, but then he found out the king was afraid of Satan. So then he said, "I'll serve Satan." But then he learned that Satan was afraid of Christ, so he became a Catholic and wanted to serve Christ. And his original name was Offero, Offero. He went to the river where many travelers came, and what he did is, he was such a big man in this river, they didn't have a bridge, so he would carry them across the river, but he wanted one day to see Jesus. Someday he thought Jesus Christ might come this way. Then one day a little boy came to the river. Christopher hoisted this boy on his shoulder. He was very light, but as he crossed the river, he got heavier and heavier. And then he said, "I feel like I'm carrying the whole world." And then the baby said, "Yes, you are. Jesus." So I'm Jesus Christ. You look for me. So he was happy. So since he carried Christ across the river, then he's been the patron of travelers. And his feast day is July 25th. That's many times we bless cars right after Mass. The feast of St. Christopher.